table, or an idea that you are looking to birth, the partner is sitting on the next table. So I'd like to encourage you, while we're waiting for the girls to be set out, encourage you to network. We'll be starting the HR trivia shortly. If you could have a conversation or two, we won't start until we see you on your feet and talking to someone. So I deeply encourage you to meet somebody new. When we're done, we'll start HR trivia and then we'll get into the conversations. It's about to be an exciting night, so I'd encourage you, get to know somebody, have a drink or two, unwind and relax. We're ending the first quarter of 2025 with HR Lounge with a bang. So let's get excited. As we're having vibes, let's also have great conversations and make great memories. Enjoy your evening.
Shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Shake body. Shake body. Shake you. Shake up your bum bum, the girl them shake up your bum bum. The girls them shake up their bum bum, shake up their bum bum.
Where I shake it, baby don't break it. You took your mama and I must make it. Where I shake it, baby don't break it. You took your mama and I must make it. Where I don't stop, take it, don't stop, take it, don't stop, take it, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop.
You ain't the fun, I ain't the fun. We can live on stop. I wrote it to you, but you don't let the fun work. I ain't the fun. We can live on stop. I wrote it to you, but a second, let's start the uniform. A second, let's start the uniform. Just say what you can.
Love is a beautiful thing. Some jazzy game. When they go come and start fall in love, you don't say what I don't ask. I'm in love. Are you in love? Mama, you done make me fall in love. Fall in love. Fall in love. Fall in love because you done make me fall.
So clean, love me in and out. I'm feeling me, and I'll be down now. Anytime you call me, I'll be down. I'll be down because I love and I love and I love and I love you. right now. Hey, I'm on your way right now. Yeah. Hey, I'm on your right now. You got me on your side now. Yeah, I'm on your way right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Said love me judge, love me tender. Love me judge, love me tender. Said love me judge, love me tender. Love me judge, love me tender. Sugar, honey, a tender lover. Sugar, honey, a tender lover. Yeah, you want my sugar, honey, a tender lover. Sugar, honey, a tender lover.
When you be down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. Anytime when you need me come through, my shawty, wallet. When you be down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. My shawty, oh, baby. My baby, my baby.
My baby good, my baby all the things I need. My baby must up the size, so my baby must up the size, so my baby bad, my baby good, my baby all the things I need. My baby must up the size, so must up the size, so.
Baby, don't mind when you see, come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like carnival. I don't lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just they watch you like a cinema. Wine bandit like carnival. Wine bandit like carnival. Wine bandit, wine bandit. Wine bandit like carnival. Wine bandit, wine bandit. Wine bandit like carnival.
Cut you load from in the dollar. With the drama stink like alligator pan. Just keep today we are the weatherman. A boy should have dropped, but he never catch on. Long time we no kill a man. Now it's work elements that the little man. Set a bomb, make a camp, and train for. So we must catch a man. That's it, that when you go back. Ski man like Shabba Motherfucker. Shot fire, every man a chop flat. Everybody's chop, every one of them. Still like the rims and the Canada. When you them one of them. Shot fire, every man a chop flat. Leave out here so everybody on back.
Ready, James, you know. Some boy I got there. Oh, Lord. Future from the common say now. Always, oh, Lord. DJs are the kings of the Red Bull. Gunshot make your head fall. Them all will get awful like them all. King James get crafty. We are the king for the Red Bull. Gunshot make your head fall. Them all will get awful like them all. King James. Oh, we start the day with the flask. Cranberry with ice in the glass. That the light can't find me lost. Son boy, this and that where your life lost. King James, band of blood. Oh, okay. After the flaws, then we move to the court. Then the dance all to the clash just start. This King James, I will lock off your heart. If you're hurried and drinking, King James are the king. Yeah, for the Red Bull. One time and we done cool. You wanna we get awful like you want King James. Yeah, these James are the king. Yeah, for the Red Bull. One time and we done cool. You wanna we get awful like you want the dance all. Yeah, hey.
This is Culture FM.
Ojuele Bashita, ask my sister. My music travel no visa. Oh yeah, ask your sister. She never said she not know me. You feel the beat, you go down low. She never said she not know me. You feel the beat, you go down low. I'm all day by day, me and the grind and the hustle. Make you watch one day, boy I do everything. Stay back my feet up, but that's what you don't say. Now them get your mouth, oh, make them run your mouth, oh. Them say them don't know how this song boy come from ghetto Jamaica. Them say them don't know how this song boy come from Guatemala. We are gonna be number one. I say come champion, oh baby. We are gonna be number one. I say come champion, oh baby. Ojuele bash, 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 They know my story. From old dogs to the I be hustling to the Them they pray for blessing. Hey, you are like a home, my people, baby. Them they pray for blessing, for better living. Hey, keep on that. I hear only to know. I hear only love. I do that, I do it, show. All on that. I do that, I should leave my head. I forward, I'm feeling good tonight. This thing got me thinking of life. Oh, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Yeah. Unakafunga la jalo de westana, we are on fire as you can. This time we need to stand, this time we want to eat your man. Say baby don't find it to shine, unaka show why. This time we need to waste time, this time we want to eat your man. Hello, we carry back a lot of feel. I'm a taka with the ghost too. Let it go, then kill. Kumatinga, she na sign your father. I got that from Osaka, Ulala, Nishilo Japa. Oh, my God, me gapa. I don't like nonsense, we are cool, I don't like nonsense, we are cool, Nishilo Japa. Oh, my God, me gapa. I don't like nonsense, we are cool, I don't like nonsense, we are cool, Sunga la ja sunga la ja sunga olu sunga ja sunga la ja sunga olu sunga ja
My problem is that you sabi what party for the pool party. I got that bata. So you dey wife me, you know see upa, we are got that. Shop and carry, go shop that. Sumba la ja sumba. Carry your mother for head like a sugar. VPS is on my neck, so you fuga. Okay, you guys, give me sugar. Cause you don't carry, give me super. Sumba. You want but that bitch come down. Only
we carry back a lot of feel. I'm a taka phone on the ghost too. Every go, then kilo. Kumatinga, she na sign your father. I got that from Osaka, Ulala, Nishilo Japa. Oh, my God, me gapa. I don't like nonsense, we are cool, I don't like nonsense, we are cool, Nishilo Japa. Oh, my God, me gapa. I don't like nonsense, we are cool, I don't like nonsense, we are cool, Sunga la ja sunga la ja sunga olu sunga ja sunga la ja sunga olu sunga.
Ladies and gentlemen, food has been served, but before we go to eat, we'll do a little HR trivia. Are we ready? Who's excited for HR trivia? I'm not feeling the excited. Are we excited for HR trivia? Yes, that's the energy. Okay, don't worry. I won't let you use up your energy too much so that when you eat, you will feel depleted. So we'll start. And because this is a very relaxed setting, I'll go around. So those of you at the back who think you hide from me, it's a lie. I'll start from the back. Okay, so HR trivia. We're talking about workplace payments, we're talking about productivity, and we're talking about wellness. So let's talk about wellness or well-being. What is, I think this is a very easy question. Honestly, if you are HR gurus, which I believe you are, all these 30 working days. Okay. Now let's go for that. That's maternity leave. What about paternity leave? Who knows? 5 working days. Legally. Is it in the labor law?
No, but as a good HR practice, at least give a paternity leave to your employee. Let them support their wife. So I know some companies do 5 working days.
5 working days.
Some do 10 working days.
Some do 10.
Some do 15 working days.
Okay. How many do you do?
We do 15 working days.
You do 15?
Yes.
Hey! Oh, a round of applause for the young man. Which organization is this?
For now, let's hide.
We should hide it. You don't want people to be sending you their CVs by heart. Okay. An employer in Ghana must provide a safe working environment under which law? Okay, there's possible answers. Hey, you've answered one. Let's leave some for the rest. Does anyone know that answer? Okay, I will give possible answers. A. Labor Act 2003. B. The Good Boss Act. C. International Safety at Work Agreement. And D. The HR Manager's Personal Policy. It's A. I think that was pretty easy. A round of applause for yourselves. Okay. According to Ghana labor laws, what's one mandatory break employees are entitled to? Oh, no. Okay, so let me give the possible answers. I think it's a trick question, but let's see how it goes. A. Coffee break. B. Lunch break. Lunch. I like D. So let me get to D. C. Twitter scrolling break. And D. Closing early on Fridays. Lunch break. Correct for 3 points. A round of applause for yourselves. So in Ghana, an employee can legally refuse to work overtime if A. They just don't feel like it. B. They weren't informed in advance. C. The overtime pay is not agreed upon. D. Their favorite football team is playing that evening. Do we agree? Is it C? Are we sure? It's C. I'll take it again. The overtime pay is not agreed upon. A round of applause. Did we know this? Did we know this? Okay. Proper HR gurus that are sitting. Let me see if I can find a difficult one. Okay. According to Ghana's labor laws, which of the following deductions from an employee's salary is illegal? A. Payee. B. SNIT contributions. C. Salary deductions without employee consent. And D. Court-ordered garnishments. Oh, the question is, according to Ghana's labor law, which of the following deductions from an employee's salary is illegal? A. Payee, pay as you earn tax. B. SNIT contributions. C. Salary deductions without employee consent. And D. Court-ordered garnishments. Correct for 3 points. The answer is C. Oh, a round of applause for yourselves. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, food is served. So we will just, there are 2 stands at the back, right? Straight at the back, you'll see 2 wooden stands with food on it. We're supposed to be having conversations. Vibes, and more. And the food is the more. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, let's take a step out of our seats to the tables, the dinner tables. It's really just light nibbles, grills to nibble on while we have conversations and vibes. So if you've not had a conversation with somebody, as you're walking, you can talk to somebody, exchange a call card, say hello to somebody, make a new friend or acquaintance, learn where they work. You never know where you can connect with somebody. And you can have a drink. Those of us who just came in, there are cocktails that are being served, and we have waiters going around with soft drinks as well. Please enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. So let's be up. It's very informal. We're not going to wait to be ushered to the table. Very, very informal. Don't wait. Let's go.
I remember Mbati, a bing pami. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner with drink Gary. Now they wanna snap pictures, I live flashy. Who gonna stop me, huh? It walk Belutani. Impossible, every day is a celebration. This one for all my people that couldn't make it. Spent nights on the blue mat in the station. I said no comment just to make a statement. How they hate me cause I'm winning. AP kicking, my rollie ain't ticking. One of 150, the whip that I'm whipping. Now they're wishing they could've catch a man slipping. SHOKOLOKOBANGOSHAY. Shokoloco bango shit. Anywhere I go, you know the gang them.
I love you, no me say. If you say make I put one out for fire, 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 burn. I go put one for fire. You know me say. If you say make I put one like for fire, 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 burn. I go put like for fire. Now together, give me love, make a love. Take no other one above.
Hey, DJs, kick it.
Sabolela tatara ikutwa Nankas chova stuta Akere kisiri buga gamuchuta Sabolela tatara ikutwa Gigi Sabolela tatara ikutwa Gigi Sabolela tatara ikutwa Sabolela tatara ikutwa Gigi Nankas chova stuta Awe
Bad energy stay far away. Baby, let us fly away. Bad energy stay far away. She tell me, bad man, see I need your love. See I need your love. Me need you close to me. Me tell her say me, oh stay on the road. Bad energy stay far away. Make it stay far away. Just give me love for the night. Give me love for the night. Yeah, waste no time.
When the money made, that is when I'm at. Anyhow you be, I dey play my part. If you go man, go me know you will fall. No they throw bad parts. When the money made, that is when I'm at. Anyhow you be, I dey play my part. If you go man, go me know you will fall. You fall. Oh, why? Asana min tunie. Oh, why? Asana min tunie. Oh,
From uptown, I still life of a city boy. Oh yeah, Dama, oh yeah, Jello, oh yeah, oh yeah, Mama Sheba, come back on. Make me the start to the paragon. Start to the halagon. Cause you know some my people they calagon.
Appelle what I chaque pas si
My first impression, many blessings so to they come. Oh yeah, kill a person, naughty. That's what I got. Body to pay what poco tilo. If in a back up some more. Baby Timo like in my faji gun. See your baby balok so fo. Another one for to teach me. New sound design like a beat. Moves like sipping on berry. Or find them for better body. Call up motivation from a man. They just live up, they no go reach us. Destined number me. Oh yeah, God. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am who I do I did. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am who I do I did. This is the life I chose. You know today let it go. Big vibe, but the girl them know. Steadily. I'm a piano. It's a big vibe, but the girl them know. They see me coming and they shout hallelujah. Every day it be praise hallelujah. Overseas they want chop me like suya. I know big dog, but it's true. Tired so greasy, they dance like breezy. I'm on my wrist, they go, they freeze you. They call me Mr. Money for no reason. I see they go, I'm a piano. We go show, we go let them know. Now we dey run the town and any show. We got than any fool, stronger than any fool. Batman flows, put them on their toes. On the low, they got them know. My baby short, South Jammo, Colorado, passing the fast to go. Piano, it's a big vibe, they tell them no. Steadily. I'm a piano, it's a big vibe, but they tell them no.
Ain't that Touch FM?
Hello, c'est pas Bluetooth, boy. Una Tesla key, only not be Tesla toy. No beef, boy. See, no good day. First day looking, no good day. Charlie Poppy, I walk on you. Do to me now, we fly on the inside that you're in your soup. Another if that thing said that you're in your. Another if that thing said that you're in your soup. Another if that thing said that you're in your. Another if that thing said don't sell no more quest. Para the body, BTC the body, money the body. All this sell no more quest. Para the body, BTC the body.
The remix of the remix. You know it's this. Broken and beats. The back of like Tesla, I got the keys. I stop. I smoke. I puff and pass. 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 I puff and pass.
Location, they enjoy money, but I don't pass. I for don't launch one hotel with one big body, but I don't last. They don't get stingy, we go away, we take captain, I pop pass. I know you clear, I give the punch. And don't go be, I use stay my balance. Take it, don't finish. Go get it, you know what, so let me just see you finish. 1K not the last again, 100K not the last again, 1 million not the last again, 10 million not the last again. Big my love is something not started. I say pop, now me some it's started. Big my love is something not started. I say pop, now me some it's started.
Ability lo yẹn lẹ́nu. Better regardless, greatest of all guys. No other thing they go call mine. That's how they shut it and guys. Tuesday, we deliver. Wednesday, we deliver. Slowest time, deliver. Till it come with the godfather. Move like an Italian. Have you ever seen a nigga like mine? We smoke weed, we just smoke cigarette. Now we there, I come on. I know you fast, you solo. I get high, I don't know. You know that we want to go. I get past, you when I go. Cause my guys don't follow. The sky's not falling down. You know my body, that body. I'm still your dirty. My little dollar. My pretty Maria.
when this feeling. See, yeah, my Soweto baby, 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 my Soweto baby. Many
say this song come on. Let's do it all for love. There's nothing for any for I never wanna lose this. To you I belong. This must be love. You did do me wow. Sadama Indana. Baby on inside. Baby make it down. Check out the visa. Attention if you lala. Everybody's all. Give me make it down. Introducing from discipline. Us girls are slim. Baby girl them what tell them what to say.
Me nah go get never get when me say that pussy out. Dedicated to the man of me love. Be every beat of man, no other man. One man to my pum pum hey, one man to my pum pum hey, one man to my pum pum hey, one man to my pum pum hey.
Human beings absorb a lot more while they are eating. Were you aware? Yeah. While you are eating, your cognitive functions are enhanced. So this is the best time for me to give you my opening remarks. Usually while you're eating, you're scrolling or you're watching TV or you're reading, but please indulge me. Can those at the back hear me? If I could have a little volume on this microphone. The other one was louder. So welcome once again to HR Lounge 2025. I introduced myself earlier as Irabna Nikwe. I'm the head of the HR Focus unit under Lene HR. And it's a pleasure to host you this evening. I'll just give you a little history of what we do, why we do what we do, and welcome you here and explain to you why we are even here in the first place. So HR Focus is a brand that focuses on bringing HR alive. We focus on best practices in HR, finding ways of creating platforms for conversations around HR, around improving the practice of HR, and meeting international standards of excellence when it comes to practicing HR. We realize that a lot of the times, HR practitioners are doing the most. They are killing themselves, bending over backwards, putting out fires, like fixing bridges, all of those things, saving the world. But we don't do very well with talking about it. We don't do very well with publicizing it. And rightly so. I know a lot of HR practitioners that like to be in their own corner and just be heroes hidden. But we're in the business of celebrating best practice and giving honor to whom honor is due. And HR, we know, is the backbone of businesses worldwide. And so what we do, we have tailored services for HR marketing and communications. That is, you know how an organization would put money into boosting their brand or letting people know about their products and services. We help businesses let people know about the great things they are doing for their people. And we also provide opportunities for organizations and brands to do great things for their people. So you can call us the people. We are the ones that like to focus on people and how best to make things better for them in the work environment. Now, we've been doing this, our mother company has been doing this for 30 years. HR Focus has been organizing events, creating platforms for meaningful conversations, and celebrating best practice in HR for over a decade. Every other year, we have HR Focus Awards. And this year is one of those years where we celebrate best practice in HR. And sometimes we realize that best practice in HR varies from industry to industry and country to country. So this year we're having a lot of international participation in our conference and awards. And so we're excited about that. Our conferences usually happen in the last quarter of the year, and this year it's taking off in October, Friday the 17th and Saturday the 18th of October. And so we'd love to have you all there. We organize quarterly HR interactive events like this one. It's smaller events leading towards the main events, leading towards the HR Focus Conference that happens every year. And as you are here, we're excited to have you as part of our community. I have team members that are going around with QR codes. If you are not already in our community as an HR practitioner, that is an error. So you need to rectify that error and scan the QR code and become part of the community. We do a lot of shared learning. We put a lot of information out there. It's a platform where you can get help from like-minded HR practitioners, HR professionals. And yes, a little bit about what we do. We're excited to keep doing this for you. We have monthly webinars called HR Chit Chats. We have conversations across different functions in HR. And if you'd like to be a speaker, if you'd like to contribute to the topics, you can reach out to us at our HR Focus hotlines. I'll definitely get that to you before the event ends. And so I would like to acknowledge our sponsors. I was having a conversation earlier and someone was asking, how are we able to put these together? It's because people we meet believe in the things that we do. We manage to cross paths with brilliant brands and organizations that believe in giving back. We like to have our events as free as possible, next to free. I think our only charged event is our annual conference, and even that one, we charge peanuts compared to what others charge. That's because of how much we believe in investing in people and how much we believe in giving back, how much we believe in having open conversations for the purpose of shared learning and improvement. So today we are having this HR lounge at the rooftop of GhiPSS. GhiPSS stands for the Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement Systems. I didn't want to get it wrong. And if we're having conversations about workplace payments, where best to have it than here, where we have Ghana's Interbank Pay organizations. They are the ones that are behind a lot of the interbank payments that we have. And they partnered with us. They said, oh, let us host you. We will open our doors to you and your community. And isn't it beautiful? Isn't it vibes? Oh, let's give a round of applause to GhiPSS. This is everything. You know, we said it's conversations, vibes, and more. All of this is the more. You know, GhiPSS has really given us a run for our money, and we're so excited to have them as partners. In addition to that, we also acknowledge our mother organization, Lene HR, because where will we be without Lene HR? And then, last but definitely not the least, we have our partners for this HR lounge, TGTS Africa. A round of applause for them because, again, it wouldn't have been possible without them. And as our sponsors, we acknowledge them and we want to give them an opportunity to speak to you. Like I said, this is the best time to speak to you because your cognitive functions increase while you are eating. So don't stop eating because we are talking. So keep munching. And yes, keep munching. Don't stop because we want you to absorb. There's a point to it. It's very strategic. So as I would invite a representative from TGTS Africa. Oh, a round of applause. Hello? Okay. So she would introduce herself to us. And like I said, really, Cash, if you have a question, you can throw it at her. She will answer.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Francisca, and I'm with TGTS Africa. I'll be spending the next few minutes talking to you about our HCM solution called SAP SuccessFactors. Because we'll not be able to handle all the details here, we've set up a booth at the back there. Please feel free to walk by with your questions and your queries, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. So what is SAP SuccessFactors? It's a cloud-based HCM that handles the entire life cycle of an employee from the time that you want to hire this employee to the time that they are exiting your organization on retirement. The nature of SAP SuccessFactors is such that it handles these life events in modules. And so an organization can start anywhere and go everywhere, depending on your current need. For instance, if your current need is recruitment, then we advise you to start from there and transition onto the other modules. So we have a lot of modules on the system. We have recruitment, onboarding, employee central, which is the mother to store your data for you. We have performance and goals management, compensation planning. We also have succession and career development, learning management system, payroll system, and our workforce analytics and planning. Because of time, I'll quickly rush through these modules so that you can appreciate them better. Now, what we do differently from the other HCM is the fact that the other ones are interested with processes and trying to make the processes really fast. We are interested in the experience of your people, and so we put your people at the core of these processes so that we can shape their experiences, so that as organizations you can have, you can retain your people and they'll grow with you, so they want to go on retirement. Now, we understand that as an organization, you firstly want to find the right talent. After you find the right talent, you want to nurture these talents to even become better. After which, you want to get these talents to work on things that are really important for your organization. And then you also want to find ways of improving your business processes. Now, with SAP SuccessFactors, that's our expertise. That's what we do. And so because we understand that you want to find the right talent, there should be a vacancy before you can find the right talent. And so we give you an org chart called a position org chart that is based on the position that you have in your organization. What we give you is for you to, at a glance, you know that these positions are not filled. These positions are completely filled, so you don't have to focus on them. But for positions that are not filled, the org chart is interactive enough so that you can raise job requisition straight from the org chart to go and post your job. Now, what we do with our requisitions is to help you with intelligent services, so that a requisition that you would normally spend like 2 days trying to work on, you spend only 15 minutes. What we do for you is to build job description at the back of the system for you, so that if you want to raise a requisition, you just click on it and then straight up, it takes you to where you need to post the requisition. Now, we also streamline your process for you, from the time that you are raising a job requisition to the time that you issue offer letters to successful candidates. Because I mentioned we are really interested in experience, we also want to touch these candidates. And so we give them email correspondences. They are organizations that I don't like just because years ago I applied to them and I didn't hear anything from them. And I don't like these organizations up to date. Nobody has done anything to me physically. But because I didn't hear anything from them after I applied for a role, I just don't like it. Now, these are the experiences people want to carry. And so for us as SuccessFactors, we want to shape these experiences of this candidate by giving them correspondences, telling them that, okay, you applied to this job. Okay, it's here. You've gone to the next stage. You've been disqualified, so that they can look elsewhere. Not keeping them in the unknown and then they go and reject all the other offers, only for you to reject them at the end of the day. For us, an organization too, we give you talent pipelines so that at every point in time, you know where your talents are. So we give you, if you look here, you see that we have invited to apply, new application and all those ones. At every point in time, you can find where your talent sits. Also, we give you what we call pre-screening questions. We know that you are busy. We don't want you to waste your time with unnecessary CVs. There are CVs that don't qualify. Now, we screen the CVs for you so that the ones that doesn't qualify, we keep them somewhere for you. If you go through the qualified CVs and you don't find anything, you can just scan through the disqualified ones and see if you can find something there. After a successful applicant has been issued an offer letter and has accepted it, then our onboarding module comes into play. So research has shown that employees normally make their decision to stay or leave a company based on the first few days of joining. If you don't keep your onboardees or your new employees engaged, it becomes a problem. They have a bad experience with the company, and so we also streamline your onboarding process for you. So as petty activities such as sending your onboardees personalized email, welcome email, assigning them to a buddies, it depends on how your onboarding process looks like. But because we've done this over the years, we have templates to advise you on. We are free to customize it to suit what you need, but we are giving you something to start with. Now, after the onboardee has been fully integrated into the organization, you want to effectively manage their data. And that's how our core HR system sits. So you want to manage their data, like their personal information, their employment information, their compensation details, their global benefit, their time information, so that you can know what is happening with their details. What we offer more to these employees is also the opportunity to initiate self-service transactions. So if an employee has a change in name, for instance, the ladies who will be married and they want to change their name, they can just make the change, attach a document to it, and send it for approval to HR, so that you can review the data and ensure that the data is true, so that you approve it to become a working document in the system. We offer other functionalities that I won't be able to mention here. Now, after an employee has been integrated, you are managing the data, everything is fine. You want to be able to assign the employee to work on things that really matter to the organization. We don't want to do FaceTime, and so we want to hit the ground running. Now, for organizations that have a proactive approach to performance management system, they always have the competitive edge, and they are always better off than the other side, because you don't wait till the employee don't achieve their performance goals before you come and ask them why they didn't do it. You need to continuously manage their performance. Now at SAP, we give you an opportunity to set very smart goals. Aside the smart goals, we also give you the opportunity to do timely reviews. In between goal setting and reviews, there is the recency error. So you don't want to fall into that. And so we believe that performance must be continuous. And so we have what we call the performance diary. So employees keep managers abreast with what they are working on, and managers also have the opportunity to provide coaching to these employees, so that you can quickly mitigate. If an employee sees that there is a challenge and they raise it here, the manager can step in and help resolve the challenge. This ensures that the employee will be able to meet their KPIs, and so managers and employees are always kept happy in the organization. Now, this is my favorite. So one of the ways to motivate your people is to reward them, or institute a reward scheme, especially for high performance. People who are getting 5 and 4.5, you want to motivate them to do better. And so we have our compensation module, which allows you to do that. What it allows you also to do is the fact that it allows you to budget per department, so that you don't allow certain departmental heads to spend overboard. So we assign the reward system per the performance rating. So we are pulling your data. This is evidence-based. This is not, I like you, I don't like you here. Evidence-based, based on your rating, we assign certain reward schemes for you. We also have certain reward schemes like Employee of the Year, giving people gift vouchers and stuff like that. And our system is able to help you do that as well. Now, I said one way is to give us money, employees money. So if my boss is listening, he will know that a way to motivate me too is money. The other way to motivate us as employees is to put us on succession plans. So if I know that I have a future with a certain organization, I'll be more likely to give out my best, so that things will go well, because if it goes well, it will reflect in my pockets as well. And so once we have plans for these talents, it helps them to give out their best to the company. And our system is able to help you do that. So the system is able to help you do that by the performance and the potential rating. So not just the performance. There are people who are high performers, but if you make them managers, they will mess things up. And so we use the performance and the potential ratings of these individuals, and we can tell that, okay, based on these two scores, they will be fit for this role in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. The system is really intelligent. So if you see on my screen, it tells you that this person is ready now based on the skills that this employee is exhibiting. So it tells you this person is ready now. This person will be ready in 1 year. This one will be ready in 2 years, and stuff like that. And once they know that they are on your succession plans, they are likely to give out their best. We also give employees personalized developmental plan. So it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Every employee has different needs, and the system helps you do that without spending all your time on these developmental plans. Now, we understand that you need data to make business insights, and data in its raw form doesn't make a lot of sense. And so, as success factors, we give you analytics. We tell a story with your data for you. So, for instance, you can dive into your team, know how many roles you have in your team, the risk of losing them, how much it will take you to hire someone into these roles, how much or how long it took you to hire someone into their role, so that you can use this information to make good business decisions as well. Now, these are some successes with our customers, and we hope that you can also attest to some of these facts. So there are customers who have increased engagement and productivity with our performance and goals and our succession and career developmental plan modules. There are others who have a boost in performance and retention because of these modules as well. And then you can achieve more as an organization with our core HR master data, because you don't get leave requests at your doorstep. Someone initiates it, you review it, and then you can quickly approve that one as well. Now, from the horse's own mouth, these are customer testimonials that we have. The first one is Microsoft, who uses our system. So initially, they were spending up to 72 hours to create a job requisition. Now they spend only 15 minutes because everything is there for them. They just have to click on a button and then review the details and then quickly post to all their job ads. The second one is a customer we know, Vodafone Group, not just Vodafone Ghana, but Vodafone Group, who have implemented SAP SuccessFactors. And because they have standardized most of their operations, they have improved employee promoter score, because the employees are now more engaged than ever, and they are able to give out their best to these companies. Now, if you are thinking about an HCM that doesn't just do the normal traditional HCM process by processing your stuff for you, but also put employee at the core, then think no further than SAP SuccessFactors. And if you are looking for a partner to help you on your SAP journey, think no further than 10th generation TGTS Africa. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as she was going, once I kept saying, hey, you do this too, hey, you do this too. It's like a one-stop shop. Please don't leave without engaging them at their desk. There's so much. If in your mind, they're right there. I'm pointing towards them. Please, can you wave? If you can just see where they're, yes. Sometimes you feel like, oh, we have this. Oh, I don't really need this right now. But then one day, you will be so hard-pressed and oh my goodness, I wish I had this. That's why you need to have their contacts now for whenever that time comes, even if you think you don't need it just now. So ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the main meal of the evening. We're wrapping up the night with HR conversations. And I have 3 guests that would be joining us today, and I'm excited to introduce them to you. Okay, so first we have an HR practitioner who has experience of over 25 years in banking. Out of those 25 years, she spent 10 of those years solely in human resource management as an HR generalist. Currently, she is the senior HR manager at CBCL. She has a passion for people development with special focus on young women aspiring to leadership. She's also a mentor for the HR mentorship program run by the HR Certification Center. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Marie-Anne Okanse, Senior HR Manager for Coastal Bend Center for Independent Living. Oh, let's give it up for her as she walks majestically to take her seat. Oh, let's clap till she sits, please. Let's encourage her. Some of us, we have nerves, so as we stand in front of, lovely, right by me. So the next resource person that we have to discuss our theme for the evening is a seasoned professional with a BSc in banking and finance and has over 15 years experience at Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement Service. 15 years, there's a round of applause moment too. Yeah. Currently, he is the head of Ghana Pay Mobile Money, and he leads efforts to promote and expand the service across Ghana, driving financial inclusion and the adoption of digital payments. He is passionate and advocates for technology-driven solutions, and he also values collaboration, innovation, and excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Samuel K. Darko, head of Ghana Pay Mobile Money Unit at GhiPSS. Oh, again, so he sits on his seat. And last but definitely not least, right in the middle, say. And last but definitely not least, resource person for the evening is in the person of a highly trained HR professional with over 17 years of experience in the practice of managing a broad spectrum of HR resource programs. In 2017, she was certified as a global HR professional after passing her SPHRI from HRCI. And in that year, HR Focus also adjudged her as one of the top 40 HR practitioners in Ghana in the same year. She is a fellow at the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Ghana and is a facilitator of HR courses at the HR Certification Center. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Madam Yvonne Redu Apabli. Again, let's keep clapping for her till she sits. Awesome. Aren't they looking lovely? They're really looking lovely. Like, it's all giving Ghana, Heritage Month vibes. Even Mr. Dako, who is wearing Ghana Pay t-shirts. You see, Ghana was represented there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence and being willing to pour the wealth of knowledge that you have. So today we're having a conversation, and again, they are speaking on the panel, but they're not the only ones to speak. We have an open forum right after they share their thoughts, and so we entreat you all to be willing to contribute. Let's have an actual conversation about HR this evening. The conversation is going to be centered around the future of workforce payments, productivity, and well-being. Now, the first time I heard this, when the topic came up as the theme for HR Lounge, I was just thinking, these are such, random things put together in a sentence. It was upon careful thoughts that I realized that no, workforce payments have a direct link to productivity and a direct link to well-being. I don't know if you've thought about it, but when we dug into it, we realized that 80% of employees prefer to have on-demand pay. How many of us know what on-demand pay is? Okay, so on-demand pay is like having access to your salary at any time in the month. Some organizations do 2-week pay, some do monthly pay, but there's this new school of thoughts. There's this new way of doing things, and HR Focus, we're like the cool kids. We like the new things on the block. We're always talking about things that we cannot relate to. The year that COVID hit, we spoke about agile working the year before at our conference in 2019. And I think at the time, everybody was just like, yeah, this is never going to happen in Ghana. And then the next year, pandemic hit, and everybody was just helter-skelter without shelter, trying to figure out how to make agile working work. So I remember vividly that in that year, a lot of people reached out to ask, can we get access to the slides? Can we get access to the speeches? We want the information, So right now, we're talking about pay on demand or workforce payments, how to make it more efficient, how to make it more meaningful. This week, a member of staff that I work with was, this week is pay week, yeah. and there was an issue with the bank payment platform, so it had delayed, and his wife delivered. So he was like in the hospital, and he's texting me and like, do you know when I'm gonna get, do you know when the pay is going to come in? And I was at my wit's end, because this was us on one end fighting the bank payments platform, and it's not their problem, because they just need their money. But these are some of the things that directly affect well-being or the wellness of our people. They may not be in the right frame of mind to even think about work when they can't get access to their pay. So today we're having this meaningful conversation to talk about how the advancements in technology in the world of work can directly influence productivity and well-being. And I just want to have a brief contribution from each of you. When you heard this theme, what came to mind?
Thank you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Just one thought came to mind. Sikaya Muja. No, seriously. Because what you just shared is typical. Yeah. I've seen these funny reels going around lately. Pay week and how you should take care of your accountant. I don't know if you've seen any of those. Yeah. I mean, literally, our lives depend on it. And for those of us who have to wait for our monthly paycheck, it's not an easy thing. Yeah. So it does affect, it's the lifeblood for anybody, not just employees, not just your staff, because even as an HR, you're also a staff. You also have needs. And having prompt payments made to you, you've worked the whole month. You expect to be remunerated. Yeah. And having your payments come in promptly gives you some boost, okay, at the end of the period. Yeah. Because it's not just about you. You have families who depend on you. You have Asian parents. You have responsibilities. And so, yes, it's the lifeblood to each and every person here. Yeah, thank you.
That's true. Mr. Dako, what about you? Yeah, you are coming from the, good evening. You're coming from the angle of, the payment platforms. When you heard the theme, what did you think about first?
Once again, good evening, and thank you for passing through. So for me, I think this topic is a good one, because I've been thinking of, especially from the financial well-being side. I thought if you're not well, if you're not sick, it means that there's something wrong. So if financially you are sick, what it means is that it will translate to even your family members. And today I'm going to share live experiences and examples for us to actually appreciate the essence of actually putting this topic across. If you are not well financially, and like you said, your wife just delivered, what it means is that even right from scratch, you cannot even think well whether your wife delivered a baby boy or a baby girl, because right from scratch, you're not well. But then assuming you had something in your pocket, and they actually say, oh, your wife just delivered, you don't even care. Okay, quickly, like you said, Sika Emoja, then your workings begins to change. Yeah. So I think today we need to look at things holistically, not just saying that as HR, we need to operate as the way we need to operate. We need to leave employees to actually fend for themselves. But holistically, we need to put all these things together so that all of us can have a meaningful life.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dako. Yvonne?
Thank you and good evening. So what came to my mind was one of the characteristics of rewards, which is security, that I should be paid at the time we have agreed. The amount should be what we agreed, no reduction. If it goes up, okay, I'll be quiet. But apart from there, and then also how you bring it to me should be what we have agreed on. I don't know how you feel when you get the peeping from 24th onwards on your phone. Because most of us have our banking app on our phones. We have a few of our staff that we pay via Momo. And you go to the cafeteria around that time, And like he said, the ambience is different.
Very different.
If you are able to spot those who don't manage their emotions very well, that's where they do barman supply. Yes, because their pockets are full. So what came to my mind when I saw the topic was the security aspect of reward. Yes.
Amazing. So then let's just zone in directly. Mr. Dako, what role does financial wellness play in employee engagement? So from your end as the one in charge of bank payments at GhiPSS, how have you seen it directly influence how people perform at work or are excited about work?
Right. So, I mean, we are at GhiPSS today, so I need to also sell GhiPSS. Like you mentioned, GhiPSS is Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems Limited. In fact, we manage all the banks in Ghana, all the payment platforms and the likes. And Ghana Pay happens to be our last baby boy. Right. So Ghana Pay is a mobile money platform. But this Ghana Pay mobile money is different. It's unique because we've managed to bring all the banks together. I mean, imagining having a mobile money solution from Zenith Bank with a certain name, ABSA with a certain name, Stanta with a certain name. I mean, I'm beginning to think you guys are creating names in your head now. So we decided to come up to say that, no, let's put all of them together and let's call this Ghana Pay. So Ghana Pay is not just mobile money wallet, but it is a financial tool. Everything you want to consider in the financial ecosystem, everything, including mobile money, think of Ghana Pay. And today, by next week, if e-levy is scrapped off completely, it means that Ghana Pay is entirely free. Because today, when you transact, no charges. It's only e-levy. So if by next week, Wednesday or Thursday, e-levy is scrapped off, it means that you are in for a mobile money and also a banking tool that can actually push, you can do all your businesses with it. So what, yeah, I mean, it's a good one. And I believe from tomorrow, or even from today, you can sign up. If you want to sign up, you just go to the app stores, download Ghana Pay customer, and then sign up. What you need is your Ghana card, front and back, and that is it. Now you are a customer. You can transact, send money, whatever amount, free of charge. Free of, and it's real time.
I'm sorry,
you send money
I don't
and
understand.
then quickly. Yes.
So I have maybe Stanbic bank account.
Yes.
I download Ghana Pay app.
Yeah.
Then I send money from my Stanbic account wherever. To Momo.
So the Ghana Pay itself is a banking tool. It's a mobile money wallet and it's a banking tool. So the moment you download the Ghana Pay and sign up, you can link your bank account, or you can even decide not to link your bank account. What we are saying is that the Ghana Pay itself is a banking tool. So right from scratch, you are able to transfer money from your Ghana Pay wallet to an MTN, to a Telecel, to AT, to any bank account, anywhere. And it's instant.
I love it.
And that is, real time.
Yeah.
Seamless. And that is the innovation that we've brought. And it's purely Ghanaian owned. You know, GhiPSS is 100% Bank of Ghana, owned by the central bank. So whatever we do is in line with the economy. We want to ensure that people, actually have that financial well-being. We don't want to burden people with taxes. We don't want to burden people with transaction fees. We don't want to burden people with other things. So what we are saying is that please come on board Ghana Pay and you will love it. You will love it. Now let's move on to the question. Of course,
we love it. Go on.
When you look at research from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, what they are saying is that I think over 72% of people who are distracted financially, they are not focused. For example, let's take it that you are in a manufacturing setup, and this key staff of yours is a machine operator. Coming from home, this person needs money. Okay, right from scratch, the person is not well. Everything is not well. This person comes to you, or actually comes to work, knowing very well that that particular setup, they don't actually give cash advancement. But this person needs money. You go to HR and the person says, oh, I cannot assist you. What happens? The person goes back to the machine, decides to operate. Nothing will work. And let's take note, this person is a machine operator. So it means that back to work to operate the machine itself is going to be a problem. Yeah. So what we are saying is that if you are not financially sound up here, whatever you do is cost 90. You see people behind their pieces, but whatever they are doing, maybe they are just listening to music or they are just doing, they are not focused. They are not productive. And they are not promoting anything that would even promote the company. So what we are saying is that all of us, we need to preach financial well-being. We must encourage, we must, as HR practitioners, we must put in place programs that would encourage people to have that financial soundness. Otherwise, you think this person is your key staff, but when it comes to productivity, it's cost 90. So we must endeavor, try as much as possible to put certain things in place to ensure that our key staff, our employees, actually enjoy the workplace that we find ourselves in. Because even for research, over 20% of the people who are financially sound want to stay because they have programs to assist them anytime they want some small money or whatever. So they want to stay. They are able to go to HR to discuss things with them. So this personal engagement is there, and also staff retention is also key because financially they are okay. And most especially, people tend to compare their former workplaces. For example, even at GhiPSS over here, there is no way because everything is on point. Okay? Because I'm able to tell this my man, she said, okay, by tomorrow, this time, I'll give you this money. And be rest assured, by that time, the money will be there. So even at GhiPSS, HR, they put in a lot of things to ensure that the staff, that we are okay. So I can actually bet my last coin on GhiPSS to say that you can promise someone to say that by 10 o'clock, I'm going to pay you this amount, and by 10 o'clock, the money will be ready.
Instantly.
And we have integrated all the payment platforms. You can receive your monies through your eSwitch card, your mobile, your Ghana Pay wallet, and even a bank account. So today, as I speak, some part of my salary goes to my account, others goes to my eSwitch card, and others I receive the alert PPP on my Ghana Pay mobile money wallet. So I am excited. I work confidently, and I can even actually break X because knowing very well that by 9 a.m. I can pay all the XLS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadako. You mentioned something that brought to mind. Which of the two affects the employee more, the workplace culture or financial stress? In your experience, Marie, what would you say? Which of the two actually has a direct influence on the employee's productivity? Financial stress or the workplace culture?
Hello. Okay. Culture is everything. It embodies everything.
Yeah.
Okay, from your financial literacy or wellness, productivity, everything is what imbibes or we would refer to as a culture of the place. Because you need to be able to live it. Okay? Now, if the person does not have financial security, like Yvonne said, there's no way they'll be committed. There's no way they'll be loyal. And for them, like my brother also said, they would probably be comparing, oh, where I was coming from previously, we had a bit more structure, we had a bit more stability. You could look forward to certain things at particular times, okay? So it plays a key part in what we would refer to as the culture.
Okay. Okay. So, Ivan, what about you? Would you say that between culture and financial stress, one has a heavier weight on the employee's productivity?
I wouldn't say one is greater than the other. Culture is the way of life of the people. Most of us are yearning to Japan because abroad, at the end of the week, you are getting your money. Assurance day. Yes, the tax will take a lot, but you know that it is coming. It is part of their culture. Yeah. So if the company, if I know that here as part of the culture, 24th, my money is in. Unless it's a Sunday or Saturday, I'll get it on the next Monday. It's part of the culture. Okay. And you know, there's this thing about money that sometimes we also forget. You find somebody in a very toxic environment, but the money is good.
Yeah.
You prefer the slaps. After all, you use some to buy medicine.
It's very true.
Okay. So it's not culture or the money, but it should be part. The money is part of the culture. Let me give a typical example. One of the places I worked, at some point we were having financial issues. Okay. So by 27, 28, before you get the email from HR that at the end Basso. And it continued for some time. It became like, why should I put in so much effort? Because this month too is the same information. Then the pay comes on 24th and we are even afraid to touch the money because we are wondering, where is it coming from? Which one is this? Is it the September one for last year that has come? Or so we don't even touch it until we get a message that this is for month this. Okay. And it became part of the culture such that even when you get your pay on time, you are afraid because that is not the culture you are used to. Yeah. So it should, how you pay your people is part of the company's culture. When you pay, it's part of it. How much you pay is part of it. Most of us here are yearning to work for the mining and oil, and why are we going there? Because their salary is part of their culture. They take good care of their people. So it's embedded in the culture. So when it is toxic, it may not be the financial side that contributes to the toxicity there, but it's still part of it. It's still part of it.
Okay. So I want to ask a question about, this is hypothetical because I don't think it's really in execution at the moment. What do you think about on-demand pay?
For me, I see two sides of it. The first side is that it's good that every time I have access to money. There's a university in Ghana, they pay salaries, that's base salaries on 30th, and your allowances and benefits on the 15th. It's good, we always have access to money. But what I noticed was that they didn't do one thing. You need to educate the employees on how to manage finances. When you have access to money, let me give an example.
Please do.
There's a bag I wanted. You know we women now. I went to ask. When they mentioned the price, I looked at my 4 children and the expenses. And I said, no, I can't buy this. I don't have the money. Then 2 days later, somebody who was owing me for some 8 months, dropped the money. It was good. Okay. Even the tithe on the money can buy 2 of the bags. When I passed there, I forgot the 4 children. Oh, I bought it. That is one thing that money does. Familiar, fayenko, that's his other name. So if you don't educate the staff, if you don't give them financial education, how to invest, that's why most people in the mining and the extractives, when they are laid off, they are more miserable than they were when they were in. Because money has 2 purposes. Half of it is for investment for the future, half for now. But because you have access, you keep spending and spending and spending. Oh, 15, 3 days more, it go come. Oh, 30th, it go come. And it keeps coming. So it's good, like he said, to have access to money anytime you need it. But the financial discipline, you must educate your staff on that. So that they don't just keep spending every time because they know they will get. Those of you who do salary advance, you attest to this. Because they know they can come for it. Something that they can save for 3 months to buy. They will come and collect the money for it. Yes. So it is good, but it must come with some education for the staff.
I think that's really insightful. So the education on how to manage your finances would eventually give you financial wellness.
Yes.
Because if I were that person who was taking advance for something I could save towards, at the end of the day, I'll probably be financially stressed later.
Thank you.
So then, Marie, if you can speak to how organizations can put policies in place to balance productivity and well-being, because I think the conversation about financial stress is underlining employee well-being, employee wellness, and usually as organizations, as leaders, what we are thinking about is how best to maximize the productivity of our people. That's one of the reasons why we will prioritize paying them early, making sure that they have access to their salary, have access to money. Even if they don't have their salary, they could do advance, as Yvonne said, or even maybe a loan. But what kind of policies, or how can an HR practitioner or an HR leader put policies in place to balance the two?
So I'll give you an example with the bank. When I was at the bank, one of the things we realized was the same issue, ensuring that we had equipped staff financially. Because you see, when you are by the money, you think that it's always available. So we actually put a policy in place when people who were 10 years to retirement were specifically taking through proper financial planning. You see, because one of the things, and we talked about retention earlier as well, one of the things, people start getting worried when they have to retire. And sometimes that is what causes them to start looking elsewhere. And they will end up in places where they otherwise shouldn't be, trying to find quick money, trying to put things together. And you find that a lot of people retire and they have nothing really to go home with. And so we put this in place as a policy. So you were prepared, you were actually given opportunity to have investment options. Fortunately, we had an investment wing as well, and we were actually training our staff and preparing them for the long haul so that they actually were happy and they were more productive and able to retire comfortably, knowing that by the time they were going home, apart from their pension, which is nothing, really, they had a nest, a tidy little nest that they could also fall back on. So it's important that we put these policies in place. There are so many organizations we can partner with. There are fintechs now that are available and are collaborating with some of these investment houses. So you can actually invest money real time at your fingertips. Once you have the account open, every month you have that discipline, okay? You imbibe that discipline in your staff. And it's a continuous learning process. We are all guilty. Yvonne is right. As for the women, we love our fancy stuff, but when you have a goal and you know that, and it's explained properly to you, and you have a goal to achieve, maybe within the next 5 years, okay, you work towards that, and at the end of the day, everybody is comfortable. So it's important we put the policies in place.
Yeah, that's very true. One question that also came to mind was, we're talking about putting policies in place, making sure that they're well educated. Sometimes this is like a little bit of what would be the whole employee wellness program, right? How can HR practitioners justify investing into their employees by doing robust employee wellness programs when the return on investment may not be visible immediately? How does one go by that? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about teaching them, giving them some form of literacy. We're talking about training them how financial management, so that when they retire, they will be well equipped. Sometimes it takes some amount of investment, and it's not just a one-time thing. Sometimes it has to be drummed over and over again. If the return on investment is not evident, bottom line, the exco will sit down and say, to what benefit does this bring us? How does this affect our bottom line? How does this, bring in? How can an HR practitioner justify this?
Can I take it?
Yes, please.
So when it comes to employee well-being, most business decision takers and makers think only of year one. Think of it in 5 years. There's a company at Nungwa Barrier. It is called Send Ghana. It's an NGO. They have this policy as part of their well-being. When you are a woman in the programs department and you become pregnant, they recruit an assistant for you to work with you for 2 years. If you are an admin staff, when the pregnancy is 7 years, you get someone to work for you with you until the child is 2 years. When your baby starts school, you close at 4. You come to work at 9 a.m. The first time they started, World Bank was one of their funders, started complaining. Go there, I think I'm the only one who left. The women are all there. Why? They are committed. They are loyal. Okay, I had 3 of my children when I was there. And there's a beautiful thing about that policy. When you have a meeting, you give your baby to anybody. If the baby cries, that person's performance score will be reduced. So my third born was a cry baby. Oh dear. So you can imagine. And you see, some of these things, like I said, if you think of year 1, you will not see the investments you are making. This employee is taken care of health-wise. A good hospital, if it's a health insurance, he goes there and the hospital is not saying this is not covered, that is not covered. The wife and children can have access to that and he is at peace. Some companies are doing what we call the bouquet now. So if I'm not married, my parents can have access to that health benefit until I get married. So I have peace of mind. Then you are talking about dieting. Yesterday, one person came for lunch and I was even afraid for him that, is the food finished? He said his diet. I said, you would die. My friend, eat. And June is our health month. Okay. And it's a new stuff because in 2022, we dealt with proper dieting, where you should understand your body's metabolism, what makes you fat. Fufu can make somebody fat. It can make another person slim. Okay, we do that. Health Month, we are bringing doctors to talk to us about workplace illnesses and all. We pay. And all these things we are doing, MSC is the #1 shipping company in the world, in fleet, in revenue, in volumes, everything. It is not because it's a multinational, because they don't combine our work. Each agency accounts for its own work. It's the things you do there. Okay, so like today somebody was asking why we give lunch. You may budget for as low as 50 cedis per head. But can you imagine if you work here and you go, they don't provide you lunch, so you have to go to Champion to buy food. By the time you come back, and you have to come and sit and work. Now, because you ate at Champion, you didn't converse with your colleagues, no bonding. Okay, but we are eating together in the cafeteria. We will talk. If for nothing at all, Black Stars, they are doing us well. Okay, so it is expensive to invest in employee well-being, but the profit can never be quantified. One of the reasons to why our ESCOs are against it is that HRs, we don't quantify it. It's a very simple thing I do. 2023, when we take our performance scores, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. How many people scored 4, 3, 2, 1 in 2023? 2024, what is the difference? If it has gone up, well-being contributed. You can't say I'm lying. I am telling you that it contributed. Okay, I am looking at how much we spent on medical. If it has gone down, it's because of the well-being education I've been sharing. And our depot, the accidents went down. Why? We didn't used to allow staff to take loans. But from 2023, we had an agreement with APSA and GCB. Now you can go for the loan with a little smaller margin on the interest rate. They are collecting, building their houses. Landlord Wahala has gone down. Why will a container fall on somebody when they are let? You get it. So if you look at year 1, year 2, you will not invest in it. look at the long term, and then we, the practitioners, we should also quantify the benefits of these things we do. How much was spent in it? If you didn't spend money, you spent time. Cost it. Most of the things I go and download with my team from Google and these days DeepSeek and all those ChatGPT. The time my staff spent on it, I cost it. The presentation, we cost it. If it was an outsider, how much will you collect? Then we do the benefits, do cost-benefit analysis. While them at the management meeting with some graphs and pie charts colored up and down, and we are gone. So it's expensive, but it's worth it.
It's very worth it.
It's worth it.
I love that. So as HR practitioners, we can't do without data. You see, a lot of the times we do a lot of the things that we are doing, but we don't record, we don't measure. There's no, like she said, quantifying what we're doing. So at the end of the day, it's difficult to justify it. I think that's a very, very laudable answer. Well, a round of applause again. So learnings. I don't know if you can speak to this, but when she started mentioning data, I was thinking about data security, and because we're talking about payments, we're talking about digital payments. So Mr. Dako, how can we ensure that payments are secure? In my organization, for example, salaries are confidential, it's encrypted, so when the payments are done, it's even outsourced. So we know that, oh, our money is secure, our money is safe. We talked about security earlier. What practical ways can we make sure that our payments or our people's monies are secured when it comes to workforce payments?
All right, thank you. So for GhiPSS, we prioritize security. So we are even ISO certified organization. Now, let me give this typical example. We all taught in basic schools after SS or after university as a PPU teacher. Now, anytime it's time for them to pay us, now they will call in batches. The lower primary will come down, teachers will come, take their money, the upper primary, then the GSS teachers will follow same. Now, when you walk into the business place, you see this big book, okay, with the names of all your other colleagues and the amounts assigned to them. Right from the word go, realize that there's no privacy, because the accountant will just cover a particular portion of the book so that you don't see your colleague's salary. Then they will ask you to sign against your name. Whether you are signing against your name or another person's name, you can't even tell. Then you'll be given a certain envelope. If you can actually count money with that speed, I mean, you can just leave the office and go. But then, if you want to employ the service of certain catalysts, I mean, you know what I mean. People dip their hands somewhere and they want to count. Now, what is happening is that you go and people tell you, oh, I saw your salary. It was number 2, number 3. That is why we must invest in, payroll solutions that would actually take out these breaches. For example, when it comes to GhiPSS here, we have, portals. If I want to access my salary, my tax payment, my bonuses, my allowances, I just log in with my credentials. And it is my credentials. The reason why I'm saying that security is a collective responsibility is that, assuming I divulge my credentials to my colleague, what it means is that I've given access to my colleague to view my salary and everything. So in as much as we are investing in payroll solutions that would not compromise on security, individually we must be responsible. Because when I go into this payroll system, I log in, I'm able to see all my salary payments. I'm able to see all my tax filings. I'm able to track everything. So data is key, because in there, I'm able to compare my 2-month salary to the other, and I'm able to also say that Aziz is giving me this alert based on my PF. All this is based on data. It's because there's transparency. I'm able to
actually log in to access all these things. So we must invest in these things, but again, as individually, we must also be mindful of not divulging our credentials to people to have access to our, salaries and other things. And you see, tell you what, if you are able to access your colleague's salary and you are the same score or the same line, it creates a whole lot of problems. A whole lot of problems. Because someone will tell you, but we came the same day, but we are doing the same thing. You are taking 2 cities, I'm taking 1 city. It's because you actually gave your credentials out, and even though people are able to track all these things, they are unable to maintain secrecy in terms of not actually keeping their credentials and allowing other people to have access to their data. And you see, in the few minutes, you have HR saying that, how come this envelope was for you alone? But, this person came to me actually telling me everything in that envelope. Year on, they actually send people to give us certain envelopes, and they tell you confidentiality. Even when they come and you are not there, they don't even hand it over to your colleagues. They tell, the person will say, okay, I'm taking it. Anytime the guy comes back, I would hand it over. So in as much as data is key, we must also be ready to protect our own data so that we don't create unnecessary problems at the workplace.
Well said, sir. So at this point, we started the open forum. I'll invite the general audience to give contributions, ask questions. If you have something that you want to say, something that you want to ask, I see you there. But before we start, so this was just an alert. So I see one hand. Are there any other hands? Any others? Okay, 2. So before we go out, one question. Employees having access to their pay, is it a right or a privilege?
It's a right. There's a contract. When it comes to rewarding employees, I have promised to give you my knowledge, my skills, my experience, my personality, and my time in exchange for money, prestige as well. And in this agreement, you've told me that you give me the money on this date. Okay? These days, companies are wise. They just said you'll be paid monthly. They don't give exact dates. Yeah. And the Labor Act is also not helping us here. It just says you'll be paid. It doesn't say when you will be. So when my people were not paying me and we took it to the Labor Commission, we had no case because it says you'll be paid. It didn't say when. Okay. So it's my right. That's why we HR practitioners, when it is delaying, we should give the people information. The salary is used for a lot of things, not just food, clothing, and shelter. Not just that one. So people plan with it. So you have to let me know that due to circumstances beyond your control, it won't come or it will delay. So I plan accordingly. It's my right. It's my money. As long as I have met my side of the bargain, you have to give it to me. And that is why sometimes when HR people are complaining that staff are asking for pay slip, they don't know why they need it. It's not for you. If it is the same thing, give it to them. What I do is that we will change salaries only in January. I make copies and change the months in the Excel sheet. If you come for February, January, then I'm the February. If you come for March, it's the January one, I've put March there. Because nothing is changing. But you have the right to know that you've been paid this amount as agreed in your contract. It has come and it is exactly what hits your account. It is very, very important. It's my right that you pay me, and I need to know how much as well.
Okay, yes. So Marie, I'm going to twist the question a little. So they have rights to their money. What about flexible payments of their money? Is it a right or a privilege?
No, I think that would be, the onus will be on management to determine. Because if they don't have the capacity to do that, you cannot force it.
That makes sense.
As much as possible, we want to make things easy and simple for our staff. But if we don't have the means to do that, we can't give what we don't have.
Yeah.
So I won't say a privilege, but it is management's discretion and their capacity to be able to do so.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, a round of applause for our panelists. They've been amazing, pouring their minds. I saw 2 hands up. So the technical team would like to crave your indulgence to come forward to give your contribution, because our online audience, we have an online audience that is joining us, and they would like to see you as you speak. So if we could have help with the microphone. Yes, right there.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for your rich contribution. So I have a question. I don't know who's going to take the question. Yvonne mentioned that whenever HRs, we don't quantify the things we do. So there are times you have an initiative and then top management has actually accepted the idea, but there's this general perception among staff that HRs were the concepts and crowd, I come with some engagement activities. You don't see the essence or the need for you to actually come up with that idea. So talking about culture, how do we create that culture amongst employees for them to see the essence of some of the engagement activities we do? And even when you're talking about, say, financial literacy and health issues or whatever, sometimes we don't even see the essence. So as a young person like myself, when I talk about retirement, I'm thinking, retirement, yes, 30 years, so how do we create that culture amongst employees? In as much as you show the cost-benefit analysis, the return on investment to top management, everything, how do I also build that culture amongst employees for them to imbibe some of these initiatives? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think let me then after that. You see, there should be openness. Frankly, there should be openness. Because you see, as an HR practitioner, as an HR person, you shouldn't just have some sort of friends to say that, I mean, this side of, the workforce, you are with me. If I want to, come up with something, I need to discuss with you first. If you go that lane, what is going to happen is that anytime you come up with initiatives, solutions to that would affect all of us, people will fight against it because you decided to plan with a certain workforce. Your colleagues, your friends. So what I'm trying to say is that there should be open door policy. Invite everyone to come in to say that this is my idea. So that even if you don't like the ideas, the fact that you invited all of them, they will feel some sense of belonging to say that, oh, this initiative, once upon a time, I contributed to it. Meanwhile, you only picked 1 or 2 ideas from few serious ones. Okay? So if you really want all of us to be part of new initiatives that you want to roll out in the organization, you must be open. You must be open to all of us, invite ideas from all of us, and then work with just a few of them. Doing that, I believe once you roll out those initiatives, all of us will clap and then vibe with you.
A round of applause. Oh, okay. So sometimes you go to a company, they are doing rep your jersey. HR is in suit. And then I have a meeting. So I can't be in the jersey. When it comes to these things, the first thing is who decided what will solve, what problem are you solving? What goal? Because yes, it's well-being, it's wellness, extracurricular, but you don't just copy blindly. You drinking that, they said, oh, we want flat tummy. For what? Because I've not heard somebody die and they say, here lies a woman who had flat tummy. So the main thing is, who is questioning, it's not the flat, there is something else behind. It could be lack of self-confidence, it could be something. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, what problem are you solving? Because if what you are doing is not solving a problem, the buy-in will not come. And then 2, you need the support from the top. We are doing rep your jersey. All the managers are in suit. They don't even come out. So the next time you are doing your rep your team, I come with my jersey and my jacket on it. Because but you are doing rep your jersey, CEO is in his jersey, comes around, mobilizes all those who are wearing Man U tops, takes a shot, puts it on his status. and says company A is a big keke, mind you all the way, what do you think will happen? But they don't do. And you yourself, HR, you don't do. And then another thing I also observed, this, when you finish the program, do a report. I mimic newspaper. Type it like a 2-page newspaper. Put pictures here, pictures there written by somebody in your team as if he's the journalist. Those who didn't take part will read it and they get excited. Hey, I missed. Those whose pictures are not there will come to your office. Hey, Mama, if you want to find me picture and shame, I didn't see myself. I said it will come. Okay. And then I also do this, I call it the yearbook. Every program we did, we have pictures in a book for the year. So if you were on maternity leave, you went on educational, whatever, when you come, all that you missed in 2024 is a photo book. You pick it, it is there. So when you see the announcement next time, Charlie, you know, go lose guard. Okay. So all these things coupled with the transparency, it's all important. Sometimes I think we copy blindly. They are doing kenke party, so you do some. If your people are one more people waiting. So first of all, you should know your people. You should ask yourself that thing you are doing, what goal? What problem are you solving with it? And you yourself be part. Encourage senior management to be part. There's also what we call, I call it extracurricular fatigue. When you keep doing this thing, after some time, they get tired. Especially the ones that come with the costuming. Okay, so they get bored. So there's a year I won't do anything. Then the following year, they will come asking for it. I got you. Then now we will do it. So that also can be the problem. So you need to have a good balance. Yeah. I think Marianne wants to add something to it.
So there's a question. Oh, Mr. Taburi, yes.
Good evening, everybody. It's more a contribution than a question.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, my name is Kwesi.
Hi, Kwesi.
The CEO of my health, former CEO of Decathlon, too. So at least you know it. So most of the time, when you talk about salary, most of the leaders are stressed. And I think the issue we have in companies, sorry to say it, is more the management than the teammate. So you should have it very well in mind. If somebody leaves a company, it's always because of his manager. It's never because I'm not well paid, etc. I have seen so many people, when they ask, why do you leave? It's because of my manager. So me, I think the salary should not be a stress, and I will just give a real story. And even somebody can attest here. So when I was the CEO of Decathlon in Netherlands, it's my teammate who defined my salary. Because I am at their service. So it means they know better what I bring on board to validate my salary. So it's not me who can say I should be paid X or Z. I bring them the service. If they think I deserve more, they know my salary. So everybody knows my salary. Even the one who sells in the store who earn a very basic know how much I was paid. And I think that is good for them to complain that I'm paying too much. Of course, perhaps they're right. I just need to explain them how do we define a salary. And I think a salary is basically your competence. So if you know your competence on board, you are not afraid to show your salary. And how I define salary with my teammate, I always ask them, give me the component of your salary. And I saw that in Ghana, and I did it in Decathlon, so it's a real story. I asked to everybody to define their own salary. And I discovered that the way they define their salary was most of the time based on basic things. I need to eat. I need to travel. I'm living from far. So when they put all this, it gives a basic salary. And I have a chance, it's Lene who defined it for me at that time, in 2016. They helped me to define the minimum I can pay my employee. We don't do it in Ghana. We pay them very badly. So when they complain, we don't understand. It's because they can't live with it. So me, I think we need to find a way to let the teammate understand the component of a salary, to define it, work with them, and now settle proper objective. One of my teammates is here. He defined his salary, and he put an objective. And I told him, if you don't reach it, I want to be able to decrease your salary. If you reach it, it's super. I'm ready to pay more. But you need to commit when I'm recruiting you to make sure that what you are saying is not just I'm talking, but you are putting proper objective, which we can measure every month and know that you are reaching it. Then me, I'm very okay to pay your salary. So I think salary is not a problem. It's more a demotivation for people. But salary does never motivate. A lot of companies propose me more, I refuse. Mr. La know it. So salary is not, for me, what makes somebody works more or better or higher, but how fair we are with him. So basically, this is the contribution I wanted to bring on board.
Round of applause. So before the next question comes up, I just wanted to put in there, HR Focus, Lene, conducted research. We found that entry-level workers in Accra spent about a little over 3,000 cedis on an average for them to survive on a monthly basis. This is entry-level. So this is putting together, the distance from work and all of those things. So the research came out that you need to be having about 3,000 to 3,200 as an entry-level worker to be okay in Accra. And we know that entry-level, that's not the entry-level pay at the moment. So that brings together the gig economy where, you have a main job, but like the side gigs are really... So I think if we had a conversation on the national level about what Mr. Tapuri said, defining the salary, breaking it down, because in other countries, the salaries are directly linked to the cost of living. So you know that what is coming, I can afford to live with it this week, I can afford to live with it this month. This is something that as HR practitioners, we need to spearhead, we need to, lead the way in having those conversations. And that's the kind of conversations that we'll be having at the HR Focus Africa Conference 2025. It's happening on Friday, 17th October and 18th October. So we look forward to having you all there. Again, as I said, once you're here to stay. If you didn't know about us until this event, please, you won't go anywhere. We'll be in your WhatsApps, in your SMSs, in your emails for you to attend the events because HR must thrive. People management must improve, and the world of work must be altogether better because we are in it. Amen? Okay, so a question, right?
Thank you. I'm Reverend Prosper Amegashi, representing Corporate Chaplaincy International, formerly Men of Honor. Thank you so much. I have been informed by your contribution. Thank you. In fact, money is very, very important. Yes. And many of us think that the worst adversary of God is Satan. No, it's not Satan. As for Satan, an angel can handle him. But it is money. God and money. The Bible says you cannot serve God and money. So God and money are put on the same platform as it were pari passu, okay? So from the viewpoint of Christians, Peter once upon a time represented us that, Lord, we have left all and follow what is in it for us. What is our end of service benefit, our ESB? So Jesus said, you who have followed me, at the end, you get this, you get this. And even now, you have more. So, I want to say that for one to be paid, as you have said, we have to see the baseline. My brother just said that, the baseline. Because by the grace of God, you have alert here, you have alert here. But how many have that? Even the little that the full one is not taking them home at the junction. Take home. It reaches the junction. So I'm trying to say that money is important, and that if a person knows what is in it for him, and that he has a lot of reward, then he puts in more. But if he doesn't see any clear distance, which is why Mama Yvonne, you left there. You left there because it was yes, acceptable, and that is true. So I'm saying that Corporate Chaplaincy International, which I represent, we come to the marketplace, to your businesses, and just like Aaron and her, you are on the battlefield and we'll be behind just to support you spiritually, so that you can be winning, and then we put your hand. So we invite you all to come to your platform. I'm Reverend Pastor Magashi, the regional coordinator. I'll be seeing you so that we'll see how best we can. Sir, we are ready. I will meet you. Mama, I will meet you. After we are, sir, thank you so much. This is what I want to see. God bless you.
Thank you, Rev. Shooting your shot. Philemon, I thought, was your hand up? There's a question? Great. Are there any more questions and contributions? We're wrapping up. Okay, I see one. Any more?
Hello, good evening.
So two more.
So my name is Ansasika, and then I just want to find out, Ansasika, yeah. So I just want to find out, in any case of data breach or data incident or security incident, what are some of the procedures put in place as the data manager to make sure that you remedy that?
What are some of the procedures?
Yes, so some of the procedures you put in place as HR manager to remedy that.
To remedy data breaches?
Yes.
Okay. By data breaches, we're talking about compensation or their personal information, any form. Okay.
I think for me, one thing, education. You see, when you look at the spellings of security, the center of it is you are. So you are the center of security. So it doesn't matter, the kind of investment you make, getting sophisticated tools and whatever, it is you. You must protect your data. That is it. So it's about education. HR must educate individuals to say that this is what you don't do, this is what you do, and that is it. Because you can employ or deploy the most sophisticated security feature. If they divulge those info, there is nothing that you can do. So education, education, education. And we are at the center of security. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So by education, that means that the responsibility lies on us as HR practitioners and HR leaders to continually inform our staff on what to do and what not to do, how to not click certain links, not to download. Now, there are even some AI tools that are Trojan horses. I read recently how a long-serving staff at Disney lost his job because he downloaded an AI tool that was actually just a hacking tool. So he hacked his computer and had access to company secrets and just posted it out on the internet. So sometimes just knowledge about these things would be able to safeguard you from policies. Does that help? Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Vanessa, and my question is related to workplace culture. So, in the event where there is no proper structure in the organization, we all see ourselves, it's a startup, right? We all see ourselves as colleagues, although we have leads. But then there's this family relation somewhere, like a relation to the top manager. And there's this relation, so because of that, I don't really regard my colleagues. I don't really give respect to my leads, like, just because I have that, yes. So, as an administrator, what do you do to instill some discipline in the organization? Because it's like it's giving some type of frustration at the end of the day. You can't say much, you can't do much, because it's either you are doing too much, or it's like you're trying to interfere in the relationship. So what do you advise we do to like sort this out so that there would be some structure, some proper laid out structure in the organization? Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Vanessa. Marie, would you tackle this for us?
Okay, so I know I can imagine just what you're going through. But one of the key things as HR is to ensure that we have our policies in place. And not just having the policy, but also educating your staff on the policy, ensuring that they actually understand the policies and they actually sign off on them. At the same time, also, you need to have your disciplinary structures in place properly. Ensure that the same rules apply to everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're the boss's son or the grandnephew of the chairman himself. Once people realize that you are fair in your dealings with everybody, whether it's Ama or it's Kojo, it's the same punishment that is meted out to everybody, then they will start sitting up. You have a responsibility to ensure that fairness. So you need to be firm yourself. It's about being firm and then at the same time being fair. But the people cannot trust you. And at 1 minute, you take a decision to cover Yvonne. But Sami does the same thing and it's a different ball game because it is Sami. Your staff will not trust you. So walk over you. You start, it's difficult, especially for the one-man businesses. You have a lot of nepotism because you have people coming in sometimes through the back door. But once they come in, you have a responsibility to educate them on what your culture is. You need to start imbibing that from day one. And when they know that you are no nonsense, believe you me, they will not mess around with you. It can be a tough call sometimes, but if you are firm, and then there's always the issue of documenting. Most of the times, we don't document these things. Most of these things sometimes are hearsay, they are verbal. You have a responsibility. Train your line managers, the leads. You need to equip them, teach them to know that now HR doesn't have to go down and deal with people personally. It starts with the line manager. They have to learn to respect the first line managers. Before issues are escalated to HR, then it's at the point where you are going to disciplinary and then meting out punishments. So you have a responsibility to equip your team, your supervisors, the line managers, ensure that they understand people management, they have the skills. If they don't, you start putting those things in place. It's a gradual process. Building a culture it doesn't just happen overnight. It is intentional. You've got to be intentional about it. And it starts from the top. And once management realizes the intentionality with which you do things and they understand it, the training even starts from the top. And then it goes down, it trickles down to everyone. So it's not an easy task, but you can do it. It's a step-by-step process. And you have so many professionals here, network with other people, and then you can call on any of them for assistance. We have a good WhatsApp page with the HR Universe, HR Focus. And so you can always ask. Nothing has, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, basically. That's what I'm saying, okay?
So I just want to add to that. Vanessa, one of the things that an organization would need, or the leaders of the organization would need to think about, is longevity. So at some point, they would have to look beyond themselves and see, do I want to build something that lasts? And if I want to build something that lasts, I need to have systems that I can rely on. So with that kind of information, a conversation can be had with whichever manager is at the top that is enabling this attitude. Let them understand that, the integrity of the organization is on the line, the trust of the people is on the line, and have data. Like she said, record these things. Have data and have examples of instances that, things that were wrong were done and were allowed, whereas others would do the same thing and it wasn't allowed, and then plainly say what this means. Sometimes they just don't take it seriously, so they just think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody knows that that's my son, so. But you see, the son should also, and sometimes from the organization's point of view, it will be the manager that would have to put their family member in line, that you may be a family member, but over here, there are standards you have to live up to. And that manager will not see the need to do that, or may not see the need to do that without it being brought to their attention. So having the data and having the conversation will be necessary, because at the end of the day, if you breach the trust of your staff, your culture will be broken. So they would be destroying the organization for which they think they are living for or working for. So it's something you need to pursue and actually navigate it in wisdom. So, yes. Thank you all so much. I think that was the last question. Okay. My boss has a contribution. It's usually my favorite part of the evening.
So, good evening to you all.
Good evening, Mr. La.
Mine is not a question. I just want to show appreciation to Yvonne, Samuel, and Marianne for making the time. And also, I think GhiPSS deserves a power clap. I want to pay some tribute to GhiPSS for, we've been using the eSwitch platform for salary payment for more than 10 years.
Yes, we have.
A lot of my staff used to complain.
Yes, we did.
About the fact that, you remember someone said some percentage will go on the eSwitch card, another will go to maybe Ghana something,
Momo or bank.
and the rest goes to the bank. And these are the guys who have taken loans. And they want everything to go to the bank. They want a pay slip that, of course, the pay slip shows the total. But you know what? GhiPSS has been very helpful, especially with the eSwitch.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about pay on demand, when you use that platform, you pay now. It goes on the eSwitch card now, and actually, you can actually withdraw it now.
Yeah.
So what we did is to arrange with eSwitch vendor to be on standby on the 25th of every month by 10 or 12 or 1 p.m. Everybody knows when the eSwitch man will be in. So what they do, as soon as, and we pay on 25th, we don't fail.
Yes,
so as soon as you make the payments, the guy is there with the cash. I think in the past we used to have this van from the bank that was here. PK, I'm mobbing, UT Bank. Used to have a van with, in those they were using that. But right now we use just a vendor. He uses motorbikes, comes and he goes into a small room and people can have money to pay transport home. So you can actually move it to their mobile money platform. There's an interchange when you pay to the bank. It takes time. You may get it in your bank the following day. But these people can actually get the money now and then start settling their bills. You can pay mommy's medicine, send the house help to pick the children from school, and the other Ubers and things. So GhiPSS has been very helpful. So if you want to have a pay on demand, please sign up onto it. It doesn't take anything away. You can put 5% on the card or 10%, or if you want, for some of the guys in my office, they put 100%. Because they want the cash now.
Now, yeah.
So that has been very helpful. Rabina also mentioned about the October 2025 HR Conference and Awards. That will come live. But before then, in July, we are doing HR Tech Expo in Ghana. It's actually for Africa. So you have a lot of visitors who are coming to Ghana to exhibit their HR tech products, including wellness. So prepare for that event. That will come before the HR conference. When Yvonne mentioned Manchester United, I almost went under the table. And I was stopping you, but you were not minding me. So I want to add that before you invest in employee engagement, before then, let me say this. Perks, investing in perks like what we have, let's say happy hour every weekend or every end of month things like that doesn't really make employees stay in your company. No, perks, for those who are looking for growth, advancement, perks don't. So you have to be careful, and I like the way Yvonne put it. You do some of the things this year, some after a while they get bored. I mean, they're out of, whatever you'll be doing will be out of touch. But you collect data from the employees. And like she said, the following year, some people would run to her. So don't do any activity without collecting data. Let it be from the employees. Even when we are investing in retention programs, you don't do a blanket. Every group of people have a need. What will make them stay in this organization? And you must have conversations with them. The same with employee engagement programs. But you can invest no matter your size. And I can understand the question you were asking. No matter your size, you can invest in every employee engagement or welfare programs or wellness. You just need to start small. If you start small, it becomes a practice. It no longer becomes new when you have to increase the budget. But you always have to have a justification. If you don't have the figures this year, the following year you should be able to demonstrate the impact like Yvonne said. It is very important. And also for Uncle Kwesi, your model, if you are starting, when you were in the Decathlon, it may not be so. But when you are starting and you have your team, fresh graduates from the university, you play the football with them, you can do that to a peer review salary setting. But when you have a structured organization, when things are where it's supposed to be, this part of the world, my brother, is really difficult. So I will encourage us to, a lot of we the young HR people who are in SMEs and other places, do not be afraid to bring proposals of what you think or what you have learned from. Like Marianne said, we have platforms. You can walk to Yvonne. If you go to Yvonne and you ask her a question, she won't charge you money. She will give you free advice. But if you want her to do an intervention, that is why she will charge. So Lene can give you free advice one-on-one, but when you want a full intervention, they will charge you a little to pay for the time. You understand? So do not be afraid to make proposals. Just contact, we are a community, HR community. Contact the senior people in the community, and they'll be willing to advise you on how you can send proposals to your senior management. Let me tell you, if your proposals are credible and are valid, they may reject it because they will think it's an expense. But when something happens in the near future, and it borders on HR and on labor, they will remember that you advised them. They will give you respect for it. So we must be bold to send the proposals for approvals and be ready to justify. These days it's easy to get data from different environments, even if you don't have data in your environment. So I will encourage all of us to send proposals for investing in programs like payment platforms. Someone mentioned payroll. We have payroll softwares like the Lene workflow. It's very easy. Some of us here are using it, and it's very cost effective. You don't need to pay some dollars ahead of time. You just need to pay as you use or pay as you go. Small amount of money in Ghana cedis. So please invest on payment platforms, and it will help your people. Before I sit down, I want to give you an example, very sad one. It happened to me because my company had actually paid me about 14 or 15 years ago. And the bank had a problem. It took me 4 days to get my money. I had a sick sister, and I was the one to send money for them to take her to hospital. A very far place. Those days, you send the money through a rural bank, and they will go there with a code and claim it. So I finally got the money on a Tuesday. I sent the money No, I got the money on Monday, later in the day. And when you send the money, they can't get it the same day, the following day. So the money got to the place on Tuesday. The money got to the place a day. My sister died the night before. Maybe she could have passed. But you can imagine if the money was there 4 days before. At least I would have been very happy that they sent her to hospital before she passed. And the bank was aware they were involved in this. After that, the whole bank came to visit me in the office. So sometimes the speed of payment is very, very important. And you normally talk about ESCO, but the ESCO expects you to bring proposals for them. They don't know it all. So you must be bold. Look at how things are working in other places and check what can work in your circumstances. Make that proposal and send it, and you are likely to make everybody in the organization happy, and you save lives. So propose things that will cause retention of the top talent in your organization, or things that will cause employees to advance. And don't waste a lot of money on perks, because the perks will not keep the people all the time. So sometimes you pull out some of the perks, other times you pull it back. Let them run to you and ask for it before you throw it back. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you so much, Mr. La. So he mentioned that we should utilize the communities that we have available to us. I mentioned earlier, we have a thriving community, the HR Focus Universe. There are different tiers of membership, the HR Rising Stars, HR Torchbearers, HR Future Leaders, HR Change Makers. If you're interested in joining, we have a QR code. Where's the team? Yeah, if you can enter the audience. We have a QR code that you can scan, or you could just take our hotline down and engage us. We'll be able to onboard you. Any question at all, you can reach out to the community. If you are shy, you can just reach out to our community manager. She'll ask on your behalf, and you'll get a lot of different answers for you to work with. Sometimes the AI does not give you the kind of answer you're looking for. I've tried. Sometimes you need an experienced person to speak to it. So you can reach us on 050-962-0204. I'll take it again, 050-962-0204. It's a hotline, so any message, any call, we can answer it, and you'll be able to get assistance. You can also reach us at HR Focus U on all our social media platforms, HR Focus Universe, HR Focus U, as in a U for universe. So yes, Mr. Lam mentioned we're having the largest gathering of HR Tech in July, and we're excited to spearhead that. We call it the HR Tech Playground. It's an expo for all forms of HR Tech. Sometimes when you hear HR Tech, you think, oh, it's just payroll, but you'll be shocked the number of solutions, technological solutions that we as HR practitioners can utilize, and we'll be excited to show that to you. So stay glued to your phones, your emails, your WhatsApps, because we'll be right there advertising our next event. Every month we come to you with HR Chit Chats. It's a virtual engagement where we have conversations about HR. You can ask all the questions you want to ask. There was a question online, I think, Yvonne, when you talked about the pregnant woman who gets an assistant. She's asking, what about an employee on 5-month probation who is pregnant?
So this particular company, we had interview for a communications officer. One of the candidates came heavily pregnant, and she was scared that because of the pregnancy, she won't be picked. She was selected because she came out tops. So we started remote work way back. She was staying at Amasaman and coming to work at Nungwa Barrier. You see the distance. So when she gave birth, she decided to do 1 month maternity leave. This is where the commitment comes in. At least she didn't have any complications. So after the 1 month, she comes to work 3 days a week. That 3 days, Mondays are when we have our team meetings. A driver picks her from home to the office in the morning. Yes. and she was on probation. Some of these things is the willpower of the top person, is the vision you have, it's your understanding that women have productive and reproductive responsibilities. That staff was given birth to by a woman some years back. If that woman did not have peace of mind at work, she can't nurture him to the kind of staff you want. I don't know about you, but when you are at work, new mother, your breast will be aching when your baby is crying. At that point, forget report writing and calculation. Nothing will work. So it was done for this person, even though she was on probation. So she spent more off time for the maternity leave because she came at 1 month and spread the rest over 6 months. It's workable. It's workable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And it's a very small organization. No? It's not a big one.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when it's small, you'll be like, if she's off, who will do her work? It's a very small one. But because of the commitment and the structures that had been put in place, so when she is home for the 2 days, her assistant that was recruited is working. And she'll be doing things at home, send it through email to the person to complete.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that comes back to the proposals. Let's not be afraid to propose some of these things. It sounds crazy, it sounds outrageous, but then you can put the data together and make the proposal. It just might work. Yeah. So before you leave, please don't leave without visiting TGT Africa's desk. They're offering a 15% discount for anyone who signs up within this month. If I were you, I'll be running to go and get it. It's a really good product line that they have, and would all do well to benefit from it. So just to end the evening, we've come to the end of HR Lounge 2025, unless you decide to stay back for some more conversations and vibes. The DJ will give us some music, so I'm sure there will be vibes. Yes, it's a long weekend. You can stay and chill. You see, Monday is a holiday, and then Tuesday is a holiday to recover from the holiday. You understand? So let's network and get new contacts. If you go home with call cards, I'll be shocked, because there's enough people to finish all your call cards here, such that you'll be in trouble. Please finish the call cards, share it. Let us get to know one another. And I would invite, and the food, yes. It's a long evening. Let's vibes. Yes, I would invite Eleanor Ayaovi to close us with a closing prayer. So as she comes, let's give her a round of applause. She spearheaded the team. She spearheaded the team to organize this project lead. Absent? I think I see her running. Sorry, completely unplanned. I just realized we didn't have somebody on the bill. So, as lead. So yes, thank you so much.
Shall we pray? Father, we thank you for bringing us together. We thank you for everything we've been able to learn today. We pray that, Lord, as we have learned, help us to practice everything. In Jesus' name I pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
DJ, take us home. Yes. Oh, the panel is a group photo just before we go.